What's going on, everybody? Mr. Toxic Pear here. Summer Game Fest just ended their stream and I am jubilant over all the announcements just made. One of my favorites being Mortal Kombat 1, the next installment in the Mortal Kombat series, and this game looks phenomenal. From its graphics to gameplay to mechanics, there's so much to explore with this game. I wanted to go over some of the things that I noticed in the trailer and my thoughts on them. Now before we begin, if you liked the video, feel free to subscribe, as I will be making more videos on MK1 as it continues until launch, as well as other games like Street Fighter 6, so make sure you tune in for more. Now, let's start with the cameos, one of the newest additions to this installment. These cameo fighters seem to play like most assist-based fighters, although I would say it's more reminiscent to Marvel vs. Capcom 1, which is an interesting choice to say the least. From what Ed talked about, a cameo fighter can also be a playable character, which debunks a lot of people's initial thoughts that they were exclusive from each other. The assists or moves that the cameo fighters will do will vary depending on the input that you do, so there will be variety on the combos and the approaches that you can make in the match. An interesting aspect is the cooldown system for the cameo fighters. It seems to be a bar that depletes a little every time you call one out. Ed didn't specify if the bar will refill over time, so we don't know if it's a limited amount of uses or if it's a cooldown period. You also get to do team x-rays with your cameo fighters, which is just insane to think about. We're going to have such a large amount of different x-rays in this game that it's going to be so fantastic. It's going to look so cool. Now the next thing I really noticed and was really impressed by was the UI and the character select screen. The character select screen seems to be simplified compared to the previous iterations in the series, but I find that to be a breath of fresh air. Compared to the variation system used before, which made the game sometimes feel overloaded, this takes it back and is easier to process. Now I think my favorite part though is when you select the characters, they clash similar to the Injustice series. They have a quick conversation and then, after backing away, the match starts. All of the loading for the match happens in that moment, and it feels seamless. Now, the UI has also been simplified. We get the health bar, the cameo fighter bar, and the clock at the top of the screen, and the meter bar at the bottom. But that's it. We don't get anything else, which I like. Everything is clear and straightforward. The last two things I wanted to talk about are the feel of the game and the characters. The characters have been revamped, while still keeping the core of who that character is. For example, Raiden seems to have part of his original kit that he's had for years, while still having a brand new playstyle. It makes him different, and it makes him new, and I love it. The character designs are fresh and new, they feel modern while still paying homage to their previous iterations. Now, the game feels like MK11. While I know a lot of people in the FGC would prefer it to play more like MK9 or MK10, that just isn't the case, but that's okay. NetherRealm has all the components from MK11, so it makes sense that they would work off that, polishing it and improving it for this new game. They do seem to have picked up some mechanics from those previous games, so I'm sure it will push the limit of what this game can do. MK1 will have a closed beta, but it does seem that you have to pre-order it in order to get access to it, and you will only be able to do it on the PS5 and the Xbox Series. So I hope you get a chance to join it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoy the video, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Later days, y'all.
There are other champions, I must gather.